Hello! Welcome to my new channel. This is Filipina living in Texas. Of course, I'm not the only one that is living in Texas. This is Filipina living in Texas, who is just simply Filipina and not trying to be someone else. Anyway, sorry for my beauty. I am just simple living in Texas. Anyway, this is my new channel, new vlogs, and I am simply creating this video in hopes that it would help to a lot of women out there. First of all, if you are married to a foreigner who or you are still planning on getting married, please know or please try to recognize that if you can recognize someone who has a mental issue, then that would be fantastic, right? But well, not all of us Filipina that have experience with, someone that you guys are married with, that maybe someone that has mental issue or something. So this is why I created this channel, and more later on I would have more videos of how I recognize the illness and what happened. So now I'm gonna tell you the story in hopes that I can help a lot of women out there. Anyway, I have been married to a Texan, I would say a Texan, of course from USA, for 5.5 years. Now we have 2 kids, and the marriage ended after 5.5 years because of the abuse. Now when I say abuse, is the whole 9 yards, okay, from emotional abuse, verbal abuse, to the physical abuse. Abuse in a relationship is something that it is not healthy for everyone, for your children or to anybody. So when you learn to recognize that maybe you're thinking there is something wrong with you. Of course, we are not perfect. We as women tend to have an attitude, but when you love someone and you think that he's the only one should protect you and to not let you harm from anyone or from anything, you know it feels you feel comfortable. It feels so good to that someone that you really love will protect you and would not do anything to harm you. But unfortunately, that is not what I experienced with my Texan ex-husband. I'm not saying that American men out there are bad and that they have a mental issues and all of that. Well, unfortunately, from my experience, I did experience it. And first, I don't want to believe it because I never see it, and until it becomes deeper and deeper and deeper abuse. And it's just that no matter how much you do, no matter what you do, you are the one that psychopath, sociopath, a witch, or whoever you are in front of the kids. And that is something that you don't tolerate with. When you are abused with your significant other in front of your children, that is something you need to recognize, and you have to stop that, because that is not healthy for your kids. And when he does it to you in front of the kids or to anyone, that is when you recognize that it is not normal anymore to that person, because I mean, when he doesn't think to say things that is not healthy for your kids to even hear it, and to just abuse you physically in front of your kids and pin you down. I mean, I'm only 4'11" and he is 6 foot, and a background of military, supposedly an ordained minister, and a jailer. So you would think that I would be in a very good hand. And well, that is not what I had experienced. And so um when I don't know, I tried my best to stay in a marriage because I don't believe of divorce. As a from Filipino culture, divorce is like really not an option. It's like my grandmother said, marriage is not like something that is like a food that if you don't like it, you can just spit it out. Well, we believe of forever, and of course, I try not to break up my family. But if it's something that, if you had to choose between survive survive to stay alive, then you had to choose that. If you want to die to the husband that you think that you be with forever, but then he's gonna be the one to kill you anyway, then you can choose between you want to survive and stay alive, or you want to be with that and in hopes that you would still be alive the next day. You know what I mean? So now, what to do? Question is, what do you do? Now, for a person like me, a woman like me, not having a family here, I have no family here, no relatives, basically no one to turn when things happen like that. You can't run. You can't tell to your friends because you think that having a friend who is from the same country where you're from, you think that they can understand you. But sometimes friends will just be there to chit chat with, or to basically just listen to you. But when it comes to this situation and they never have that experience like that, they never been abused, they never, of course now I am a single mother because of that, and it's hard to tell to your friend, you know about the abuse, about what's going on in your marriage, and because you think, you don't want to be, you don't want it to be in public, you don't want your friends to know about it, because it is very embarrassing to tell that you are going through that. And so I always, especially with me, and I always was talking to my best friend every day, and she have no idea I've been through this. She have no idea. We have been talking day in, day out, night, morning, whatever. She could be on the phone with me every day, and she have no idea that behind my smile, that I have been carrying this heavy cross, heavy, 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 that when you know everything was falling apart, and that I had to pack up and leave and go to the shelter. This is when one of my friend, actually, she now realized, because I'm not home anymore, and I was in the shelter. So luckily there is a shelter here in Texas, in this community where I live, that has a woman's shelter for domestic violence and for kids, and they have there is a lot of help. So if you are Filipina who is in this, going through this situation that I experienced, I can only tell you that there is help for you. First of all, have a strong faith with God, because that's the only thing you can have to survive. He's the only one that can give you strength to carry on with your life every day as you are going through this on your own, because I know that you will never tell while this is going on with you, while you're going through this. It's like you don't, you know, I mean, at least in my experience, I could never tell anyone because it is very embarrassing. So it was just crying and praying, crying, a lot of crying, a lot of praying, a lot of thinking. You know, you had to think, because once your partner put the hand on your neck and you have no idea whether you would still survive in that few moments that he grabbed a hold of your neck, and he is 6 foot and you're just 4'11", I mean, and pin you down on the floor and just put all his weight on you. And I'm just lucky to survive from that, really. And my kids at the time was only like 2 and 5 years old, and they would be screaming in the background because he would lock you up in the bathroom while he's screaming on top of his lung right in front of your face. So the verbal abuse and emotional abuse, physical abuse, I mean, sometimes you think maybe there's something wrong with you, maybe there is something wrong with you, maybe you're the one that's mental, maybe you're the one that's a problem. But you know what? I learned something when I was in the shelter, in a domestic violence shelter. There is a psychologist in there that was, you know, educating us there, all women that was there, that to recognize that the person that you're with, or you know, that there is a mental issue there, they're not gonna be the one to admit that, because to recognize that is you, or he or she will be always the one to tell you that you are mental, that you are this, that you are that, you are the sociopath, you are this, whatever that she call you or he call you. So my friend, I have a lot of story to tell, but please subscribe and just follow my channel. And I have a really good testimony to be used to help other women out there, especially who is struggling with the abuse. And please subscribe. And this is my new channel, especially created to help other women out there. So thank you very much for subscribing, and just forgive me for my English with my kind of accent that maybe it's hard to understand, but I know you guys out there understand. And sorry for my looks, because this is just simple Filipina living in Texas. Bye for now, and good night. Thank you.